Hi guys, I'm back again with another video, and today we're doing Testimony Tuesday. So it's been a minute since I've done a Testimony Tuesday video. I think the last one happened about 2-3 months ago. I am so sorry, that is horrible. Today I'm going to have a lot of things I want to talk about. So I don't really know what the title of this video is going to be because I don't really know what I'm going to talk about. It's just like a big spiritual rant. I guess I can start off with the reason I got baptized and that whole thing right there. I got baptized about a month ago. That is so horrible. Why have I not been doing Testimony Tuesday videos? Like, what is wrong with me? Yeah, about a month ago, I went to a winter conference with my Chi Alpha team. If you don't know what Chi Alpha is, it is a campus ministry, but it's so much bigger than that. And if you want to know more about that, I can do that whole explanation in another video, and my experience and everything in another video. But I think everyone should join Chi Alpha when they get into college. If you are planning on going to college, and yeah, I went there with my Chi Alpha people, and I just felt so filled. It was like every day you would wake up and be in his presence. That is possible to do on your day-to-day basis, in your room, at work, whatever the case is. You can just be in God's presence. But when you're in God's presence with a community filled of people who are also in God's presence and just share that passion, it's a whole different type of feeling. And it was amazing. And I just felt so led to get baptized. And it wasn't my original idea. One of my friends mentioned something about getting baptized, and I always thought of the idea of getting baptized. When I was little, I would see people get baptized, and I've seen 2-3 people get baptized in my whole entire life at church. And the first person I seen, don't remember who it was, but they got baptized, and I was really young, and I was just thinking why is there a swimming pool in church? And it was more like a bathtub, but my brain was just this is not right. There should not be a swimming pool in church. As I grew up, my thought process slowly started to change. I cannot talk good. But then my next thought process, I don't know what age this was, I seen someone get baptized, and I was like, so when they come out of the water, they're like a brand new person. All their sins are washed away. They're basically on the same level as God. You're never gonna do anything wrong. Wow, I need to do that. But obviously that is not how it goes. It's not. So anyone thinking that, you're wrong. You're very wrong. But yeah, that's basically how I felt about it for growing up. My two thought processes on getting baptized. And as I grew up, I always thought about it, but I was like, I don't know if I'm ready, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I should do it. So then, as my friend brought up the idea of getting baptized, I thought about it, and I think I had a day to think about it, and I just prayed, and someone sent me to Matthew, I don't remember, but somewhere in Matthew where they talked about baptism, and I read that, and I prayed, and I just decided the next day that I was gonna get baptized, and I was super excited and super anxious. Now, I felt led by the Spirit to get baptized. It wasn't because, oh, she told me to get baptized, so I'm gonna get baptized. And she didn't tell me. She brought up the idea. So I literally felt led by the Spirit, and this is how I really knew God wanted me to get baptized. Because when it comes to getting out of my comfort zone, I can literally feel the shift in my atmosphere. Now, the shift in your atmosphere, the spiritual shift in your spiritual atmosphere, it's you can't even explain it, but I'm gonna try to explain it. So that day was pretty regular. We did our daily tasks that we did. worship and everything, and as it started, like I was anxious about it, you know, like people would ask about, oh, you really decided to get baptized, and I would be so like, yeah, you know, not yeah like I'm not sure, but like yeah, but like I don't really want to talk about this. Like, but like it was like, yeah, I'm getting baptized, you know. I didn't want to, I have this bad habit of like not getting too worked out up about things, like suppressing my emotions so that I don't like get let down if things do not work out the way I want them. And that, I don't feel like I was like scared that things wouldn't work out the way I thought they would. More, it was just like I don't want to get too excited for this. I don't know really know how to explain what I do. It's really weird, but it's just like I try not to get too excited about things, you know. So that's basically what I was doing. And because this was the last day of our like conference retreat thing, so it was the last day, so we took communion, and we took, well, as we gathered as a group to take communion, we were praying, and our group pastor was just like, if you feel led to speak out loud and pray, go ahead. And people were speaking out loud, and I'm sitting there and I'm praying, and literally my body starts to shiver. Now I don't know if it was visible from the outside because my eyes was closed, but I literally started to shiver, and my heart started racing, and my whole entire body got hot. Now I've never experienced anything like that before, and I felt like the Holy Spirit was on fire. Like God was on fire in me, like literally. How was my whole body hot, but I was shivering? And I started just pouring, like I started crying. And normally I do not like, I don't know, I get scared that maybe I won't say the right thing when I pray in front of other people. So I don't know, I just get really nervous, and I really need to work on having more confidence in my prayers and stuff, because it honestly doesn't matter if your prayer is small or big, or if you mess up. God knows what you're gonna say before you even say it. So I don't know why I get so worked up about being perfect when I pray, especially when it's in front of other people. So that's a whole nother thing we need to work on. But at that moment, I did not care. I did not care. I was crying and shivering and hot, and you know, my heart is beating really fast, and I just opened my mouth and I started praying and crying. And I'm the type of person, I don't really like crying in front of people. Even that's hard to believe. Really hard to believe, because recently, you know, lately I've been doing it a lot. But it's really something I just don't like doing. It makes me feel like, you ever saw that video when Ariana Grande was about to cry, and she was like, oh, that's so disgusting. Like like that's how I feel every time I cry in front of people. And even after the fact, I'm like, why did I do that? Ew, gross. But yeah, so I just felt led, like literally. And as I prayed and as I just talked to God, like I literally felt like he was telling me to just do it. Just do it. Just do it. But yeah. And so after that whole, the end of the retreat and everything, that's when we all like went to the bathroom, because this retreat was in a hotel. So we all went to, not the bathroom. What did I just ask? At the bathroom? We all went to the pool room, and I changed into whatever clothes I was gonna get baptized in, and I'm waiting, and I'm getting super anxious, like anxious to the point where like my heart is still racing. And I'm just like and like I'm talking to them, and it's not that I'm not happy. I'm super excited to the point where I am overwhelmed with emotion. So now like I'm talking to them, and they're just so hyped for me, and I'm hyped for me, but I'm just like, keep it cool, because if we start, we will never end, Olivia. And then like my group leader just came, and he was asking me a simple question, and I started breaking out because I could not hold or suppress my emotions anymore. Like it was just too much, and I just could not stop crying. And I wasn't crying because I'm sad. I was sad. I really wasn't crying because I was sad, but I was crying because I just felt like God was doing so much for me, and that this moment was gonna mean so much to me. And honestly, when things get so like overwhelming, and I just get so filled with joy. I cry. I just cry. Like, it is, I'm not sad. I'm not sad. Though that could be a possible thing, because sometimes when I get overwhelmed with too many tasks and like I just get frustrated, I cry also. But normally it's not in front of all these people. And I was literally crying. So they was going like by colleges. They would go and by college, and our college was actually the last college. So, and I was the only one in my group that was getting baptized. So yeah, and in my head I'm just like replaying what like I just overthink too much. I was like replaying everything that God's been telling me, and I'm just like, I don't know, God, because my big thing was like, I didn't want to get baptized for any reason. Just like, oh, I'm gonna get baptized because, you know, God was good to me today. Like, I mean, if that's what you're gonna do, I'm not saying that's wrong, but I would just really want to get baptized, and I wanted my intentions for getting baptized to be pure, and I wanted to know that I was putting my full trust in God. So yeah, and that was part of my like conflict over the years of just, why should I get baptized? It's just like I didn't feel like I had a reason, and then God just gave me a reason, you know. Most of what was going on at that conference is about like, oh, God is just not, he's not just for me, you know. When he gives me wisdom, when he blesses me with joy and peace and all those nice things, it's not just for me, but it's for me to give to the next person, to share with everyone, and to give to you guys, you know. Share the same love that God gives me with you guys, and the same joy and the same talents and all those same things that I have with other people around me. So my big thing was transformation of mind, so that I can be able to do that in a pure and genuine way, and just being able to encounter people that, you know, maybe have a hard time opening up and like just giving themselves to God, you know. And I know that's not an easy thing to do, you know. I don't want to sit here and talk to you guys like I'm Miss Perfect, because trust me, I'm not. Far from it. Far from it. Okay, maybe not that far, you know, I was really piping it, but I'm far from it, okay. So that was really the big thing for me. And after I got in that water, and honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I mean, I'm always honest with you guys. But when I got in that water, I don't like public speaking, any sort of public speaking, from like, other than 2 or 3 people. Any more than 2 to 3 people, it's like, this is too much. I just overthink things too much. That's my problem. And I get really anxious. And when I get anxious, I start to stutter, and then I start to say things wrong. And I'm a very smart person, but I don't give myself enough credit for that. And I just feel like sometimes when it comes to public speaking, I just lose confidence in myself. Like, I can be confident in so many things, but when it comes to public speaking, it's like, I think it's just that fear of being perceived as dumb, even though I know I'm not, you know. So yeah, it's like all these people here from different schools watching me, and I have to open my mouth and tell them like why I decided to get baptized. And it's just a few sentences. It doesn't have to be no long, you know, speech, but I was scared. But as I just like let go and let God, I opened my mouth and I just spoke, and I felt so relieved and confident. Like, I don't think I've ever spoke that fluent. It's like, no. I'm being so dramatic right now, but I don't think I ever spoke so like openly. I said fluent before, but it's really openly about me, just me in general, and why I'm doing this. And I didn't feel anxious, and I didn't feel scared, and I didn't feel those feelings I get when I'm about to present something in front of a class. But I felt free. Like, I felt freedom.
Alright, listen up. Alright, this is Olivia, and I wanted us to share why she's being baptized tonight.
So God has always been in my life, even when I was turning away from him. And recently he's told me that he wants to renew my mind to make it more like his, so I can go out and disciple others.
Let's go!
Alright, Olivia, upon confession of your faith that Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior, I baptize you in the name of the Father, and the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
I don't y'all don't understand. And I can't really explain the feeling. The feeling is just something that it probably only comes once in a blue moon, and I was able to experience that. And honestly, it was the best day of my life.
We'll hear why should be baptized tonight.
So God has always been in my life, even when I'm turning away from Him. And recently He told me that He wants to renew my mind to make it more like His, so I can go out and find one.
All right, Olivia, upon confession of your faith in Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, I baptize in the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Like I said, best day of Olivia's life, and I will not take that day for granted ever. And I'm so happy for being able to be in Chi Alpha and just be with them, because we have so many great memories and we learn so much from each other, and we really grow in faith every time we're with each other. And at least me, I don't know, but we just grow in faith, and it's just good to have a community where you can grow with other Christians and also help other people who may not be Christian or may not have any faith in anything just come into a community and a family that are so genuine and welcoming. So that was just amazing, and I wouldn't want it any other way. Though I would have want my like family to be there and stuff. They got to see all that on camera, so I'm all good with all of that, and it was an amazing experience. I would say everyone should experience that, but I can tell you what you should and shouldn't do. And when you feel like it needs to be done, then I feel like you should do it. I don't feel like you should watch this video and be like, oh, she did it, and yeah, like I want to do it too now. Like, it should be something between you and God. Like, no one should have say so in it. And I know a lot of people get baptized at birth, but unfortunately I did not. And honestly, I don't want to say it's unfortunate, because I feel like it allowed me to make the decision for myself. Because if you get baptized at birth, this might sound blunt, but it didn't count. To me, it just didn't count, because I feel like when you build that personal relationship with God, then it becomes a you and him relationship. Like, this is us, you know. And through that communication, through that bond and that friendship, that's where you should be led to like do certain things. And I just feel like when you're baptized as a child, you just have no like understanding of what's going on, because honestly, you're a child, you're infants, you have no say so. I don't think people shouldn't do it, but I feel like you shouldn't be like, oh, I got baptized as a child, I don't need to get baptized again, honestly. And even now, like, I got baptized, but if I decided in my future to get baptized again, I would, you know. If I felt like it was necessary, and I felt like God was like, you know, it's time. You know, you've been a little drained lately, you know, let's get it together. But yeah, that's really the whole shenam-ba-ding-a-dam. Everything after being baptized, I will say, my faith has grown a lot. Like I said, I've been encountering so many new people, new friends. Like, I don't make a lot of friends like randomly, you know. But lately I've been meeting people on social media, talking to them, and just like guiding them, and also learning from them. Like, I don't make it seem like, oh, you know, I'm just giving them all this information. Yes, I'm so amazing. I am amazing, but no, I'm actually learning from other people, and I'm also probably giving them advice that they can learn from. I've been meeting a bunch of people on my campus, and you know, just doing things that normally would just be so uncomfortable to me, but it seems so natural all of a sudden. But not all of a sudden. I feel like there was a process that I had to go through, probably through like meeting the people in Chi Alpha and just being around them and just not knowing them to like knowing them now. So maybe that was just all part of God's plan. I don't know, because I don't know his plan for my life, but I feel like it was. But yeah, I've been doing all that, and lately, you know, I'm the type of person, this might be hard to believe for some of y'all, because I feel like some of y'all think like, especially if you follow me on Instagram and you watch my Insta Snap stories, you probably feel like, wow, this girl like reads her Bible every day. She probably prays like 6 times a day. But sometimes I don't. I'm not perfect. Sometimes I have days where I'm just like, not too much of like I don't want to, is more like not prioritizing God first, which is a problem in itself. But when I feel like that, I usually like get weekends. Since weekends I don't have classes, so I have all this free time, and I just rest in his presence. And basically that just looks like putting on some gospel music, reading my Bible, and I have so many books. Like, I have so many books. Hold on, I'm gonna show you a few of my books. Today when I woke up, I read Daily Bread. Now Daily Bread is an app that I use. I don't use it that much anymore because I do so many other things that it's like I don't really need this one. But as an app, and every day they give you like a passage. They give you a Bible verse, and then they give you a real life example of that Bible verse, and then they will explain how that Bible verse connects to that situation. And at the bottom they'll either have a question, or they'll have like a prayer that you can read and like basically repeat after and basically pray. And I started off doing that like eighth grade, because you know it was really hard for me to pray during that time, just because I'm like, how do you know I'm praying right? And honestly, there's no right way to pray. Like, there's no right way to pray. But being an 8th grade and being the overthinker that I am today, that's something that I was just spinning in my head. This morning I woke up and I did that, and then I read the verse from my Bible app, and yeah, that whole situation was amazing. But I also read this daily, and if you follow me on my Snapchat, then you know all about this. I'll have a few passages on the corner somewhere, and then I write in my journal. And in my journal, I want everyone to write a journal daily. I don't write daily, obviously, because I get busy sometimes, but I just want everyone writing the journal daily. Write prayers that you have, write dreams, plans, goals, situations, and then go back and look back and see how you've accomplished some, or maybe you haven't accomplished some, which is fine. And just see how like God works in your life, because I promise you, like, it's just so amazing looking back at some of your struggles and being like, damn, I'm not even there anymore. Like, I'm not even that same person, and that was just a few months ago. So yeah, and then I have this book, which is very beat up because I love reading it, but I don't read it as much anymore. And then, of course, your Bible. But yeah, that's all I really do when I'm resting in his presence and listening to music, which I don't do all the time. But when I do, it always makes me feel 10 times better. But that's about it for this video. I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm just gonna end it right here. And yeah, if you have any questions, please comment below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Remember to be beautiful and love yourself.